At Diana's palace, she asked the midwife the reason of her stomach ache and if everything is okay with her baby. The midwife told her that it wasn't a stomach ache, but a menstruation. Diana was shocked to hear it and angrily asked how can that be because she's pregnant. She grabbed the midwife telling her not to lie because she felt the baby moving. Lennox heard their conversation and asked Diana that weren't she pregnant. He asked for explanation while the midwife told him that Diana may have misunderstood and sometimes these things happens. The siblings were both shocked to hear the truth coming from the midwife. Lennox secretly asked another midwife to examine Diana, but there were no changes in the results. He became furious telling himself that his sister is such a fool. He ordered to eliminate the first midwife and to get a newborn that has blonde hair. He gritted his teeth telling himself that he will never let go of this thread of hope that he barely grasped. Back at the Empress Palace, Adelaide ordered Lionel to stand up telling him that she's no longer the Empress and asked him to leave. Lionel insisted to look at him and asked what she wanted to do without paying attention to honor, faith, and duty. Whatever it is, he will do it for her. Adelaide asked if he will do it if she wanted to die. He was surprised, but he sadly accepted that he will do it. Adelaide told him that she wanted to leave the palace because she can't be there any longer. The emperor was on the way to the Empress Palace after hearing that the Marquis is there. He became angry seeing Marquis Herbert's face. He asked how dare he ignore the ban on entering the palace. The Marquis apologized for not following his orders because he wasn't informed in advance. He asked the reason why he can't enter the palace. The emperor became more angry of the Marquis' audacity in questioning his order and wanted to tear him apart. He threatened Lionel not to look at his empress because she is his woman. However, Lionel reminded him that Adelaide is no longer the empress, but the princess of Gotrov. The emperor grabbed him telling that he is responsible for that situation, while Lionel was thinking that he can't believe the empress endured such humiliation because of this kind of man. The emperor warned him that he can't take even a single step into the Empress Palace, and started thinking that he will surely kill the Marquis. Lionel thought that he will never leave Adelaide with this petty and vile man anymore, and will make him pay for what he did. At the Duke estate, Lionel informed his brother that he planned to take Princess Adelaide to his residence. The Duke became angry asking if he gone mad. Lionel explained that they need the help of the princess and she would be better off living in his residence than in the emperor's palace. The Duke insisted that she's still considered part of the royal family, but Lionel answered that he doesn't care. Elizabeth told him that he will become the emperor's target, but Lionel answered that he is willing to become the emperor's target. He explained that it's better that the emperor's attention is focused on him since when the rumors reach Duke Desvenal, he will undoubtedly try to keep them under control. If at that moment, the emperor is focused on him, he won't be able to unite his forces with the Duke Desvenal. The two then realized that Lionel is not acting recklessly. He calculated every move. Lionel passed a paper showing the plan to overthrow the emperor and told his brother to raise the issue after he bring the princess to his residence. The emperor received a news that the Gotrov princess is planning to leave the palace, causing him to become furious asking where is the empress going. He burst into Adelaide's room and questioned her where is she going, but the princess remained silent. That led to him to repeat his question angrily. The emperor grabbed her shoulders and asked if she's going to Lionel Herbert, but Adelaide asked if it's important to him, where will she go? The emperor told her that she is his empress and where else will she be if not beside him? She reminded him that he already overthrown her and added that it was for the best since it would have happened sooner or later anyway. Adelaide told him that she refused to be near him. She renounced the title of empress. The emperor was shocked to her statement and threatened her that he will definitely kill Lionel Herbert, reminding her that he is the emperor, and he is only his subordinate, so it's possible he will send him to a place with harsh condition that he won't survive. This statement made Adelaide tremble, while the emperor continued telling her that if she stay near that bastard, he will definitely act as he said, and she will definitely end Lionel's life. Adelaide walked away without stopping and leave the emperor. The princess was greeted by Lionel telling her not to think anything and just take his hand. At the Duke d'Esvenel estate, many nobles went to question him about the rumors that nothing was done against the towers. They also asked the reason why he immediately destroyed the Vieta Tower, but left the Kelvin Tower untouched. The Duke went to the emperor, but he witnessed him talking to himself how the empress left him. The Duke told him that to worry such things as they need to take actions. The emperor didn't care, but told him to as he please as he never need his permission. Duke d'Esvenel thought that emperor had lost his mind. Lionel was thinking that the devil whispered in his heart and decided to take her. He is ready to give her everything he have and prepare a place where she can stay because in the end, she wants the same thing as him. The Duke was worried that the emperor become like that in times when they should be bracing the incoming waves, claiming that he is a pathetic fool. Diana asked him her brother the things that he gave her, while Lennox explained that it was a maternity belt that makes her look pregnant. She throws it away telling that it was not necessary, but Lennox asked how it's not necessary telling that she should be grateful to him. If it becomes known that there's no child in her womb, she will be kicked out of the palace immediately. In about 5 months, he will bring a suitable baby boy, so at the very least, she should try to become useful. Diana asked what she is to him, while Lennox stopped her having such useless thoughts and just focus on her appearance. It's because she looked like that the emperor doesn't step foot in the ivory palace. Hearing this, Diana became emotional thinking that, for Lennox, she was just a tool to maintain power. She asked herself what is she to the emperor then? When she said she wanted to become the empress, he answered without hesitation that she can't. Diana remembered how the emperor responded when she told him they were having a baby. His eyes showed that it couldn't be true. She concluded that the emperor never wanted a child with her. He didn't want to see an heir from a woman of low birth, and asked herself if the emperor is using contraceptives. The emperor was looking at Adelaide's room thinking that for a room that's supposedly abandoned, everything is perfectly in place, only she is gone. He looked her cabinet full of dresses and her drawer full of accessories and realized that she took nothing with her. She didn't take a single pen he gave her. He's the one that dethroned her, but truly, it was she who abandoned that position and him. If he had known this would happen, he would never have played the extreme card of dethronement. If only he had kept her tied to the position as empress, he wouldn't have been helplessly robbed of her like this. The emperor asked himself how can he get her back? How can he make her return? He pleaded for her to come back to him. At the Marquis Herbert residence, a woman gave the list of those in the mage division loyal to Duke d'Esvenel and those who share our share and told Lionel that they need to hurry. Lionel agreed, explaining that noble families and knight orders are ready to join while thinking that they must create a safe haven for Princess Adelaide. Lionel went to Adelaide's room as soon as he heard the news that she has woken up. He asked what was she doing. Adelaide explained that she was organizing her knowledge on magic. He reminded her that she promised to create a better world, and explained that he is planning on holding those people accountable and correcting the wrongs of this world, all for the better world she dreams of. He continued and told her to finish what she's doing and he will wait. Adelaide noticed that the Marquis has fallen asleep and come close to him and started staring at him. She looked at his handsome features and fully acknowledged it. She is in love with him. Lionel woke up asking himself if it's another dream or a worn-out illusion, and started asking if she's watching him, explaining that he's always seemed to be looking at her. Even as he looked at her, he can help but want to know more, and tears started flowing on his cheeks. Adelaide wiped it while asking why and started moving closer to his face. She kissed his lips, making Lionel surprised, but accepted it and closed his eyes. status, circumstances on her face. In that moment, the walls between her heart and him crumbled. Diana was walking the emperor's palace thinking that she must see the emperor immediately while the emperor asked what it is with his cold, eerie voice. Diana was thinking that despite his coldness, her foolish heart fluttered endlessly. She always took great care in styling her hair, tinted her cheeks pink, and she always smiled, but in her relationship with him, she was non-existent. Foolishly, only now she truly see this man's true face and started asking the emperor if their child is a boy or a girl. The emperor ordered her to leave if she's there just to ask pointless questions, while Diana asked if he's not curious since he is the father after all. He shouted enough of her talking, but Diana insisted and told him to tell the officials to officially announce her pregnancy. She asked if he will make the child's successor if it's a boy. Diana asked if it's not possible because she's from low origin, hoping that the emperor answered that it's not true. However, the emperor answered that his successor will be the empress offspring. This statement made Diana's world crumbled and understood that from the beginning, she never had any intention of making herself an empress, and no intention of making her child a successor. She walked away while crying and asked the emperor the reason for keeping her in his side, but the remained silent and didn't answer her. Diana finally understood that the emperor was simply using her as an outlet for his emotions. He threw her into hell without a second thought, yet he's the one abandoning her. The one she should truly hate is him. Adelaide's hand is shaking after hearing the news that Kane Knox was there to escort her back to Gotrov, but Lionel grabbed the comb telling her that he will assist her. He told her that if she doesn't want the guest, he will send them away. But she refused because there's no need for that and told him it's Kane Knox. Lionel remembered the name as Adelaide's comrades in Gotrov, and they must be intending to escort the princess back to their homeland. Kane was thinking how they removed her from the position of empress, and remembered the day she left for a faraway foreign country where she knew no one. Without showing weakness to anyone, he looked at her with a bitter heart, but to be deposed and remain in the position of a princess. Kane introduced himself to Lionel, while the Marquis was thinking that they already grasped the situation in Egmont. Naturally, they will try to take her back to their homeland by any means necessary. One of Adelaide's subordinates asked Lionel for the reason for the Empress dethronement, but Adelaide showed herself to them calling their name, the man why she looks so gaunt and become thinner. Kane asked if she's alright because such sight actually hurts his heart, but Adelaide answered that she's fine. Lionel was looking at them and told her that they need time to speak and told her that he will leave. They asked what happened, telling that they refused to stand quietly for the emperor's frivolous reasons, but Adelaide told him that she already acknowledged the abdication. The knight told her that it's better this way because without her, everyone feels so down, and told her to go back to Gotrov. Adelaide remained silent while Kane asked if she's considering staying in Egmont and burst out reminding her that she would rather choose death than lose her honor, and asked if she really intended to die there. Adelaide called Kane's name to calm him down, while he insisted to go back to Gotrov, to their country, to the lush forest that she dearly loved. She closed her eyes thinking that it is the homeland where there was not a single place she didn't love. However, she intended to set right the distorted things and create a better world. Adelaide answered that there is still unfinished business there. The current Egmont is rotten to its core, turning the place into hell. A revolution will soon break out and her help is needed. But Kane asked what does that have to do to her? She's no longer the Empress of Egmont, but the Princess of Gotrov. He added that if the revolution failed, it will become a treason, asking if she's intended to participate such dangerous affair. The other knight asked her to reconsider her decision and handed a letter from the imperial family. The Gotrov emperor has instructed them to bring her back even if it means going to war, while Adelaide looked at the letter and told them to give her time to think. She opened the letter and found out that Lucio sent it to her, and tears started falling. "Sister, what I truly desire is your safety and happiness. Had I known you would go there, I would have told you sooner. I apologize for being too late. Do not concern yourself with things like honor or reputation. I will come and escort you back. If what you truly desire is the throne of Gotrov, I will gladly pass this position to you." Lionel was worried what conversation did Adelaide have with the guests, and asked if there's a place for him in her heart as well. The revolution he seek to achieve under the guise of a noble cause were never righteous, but for his selfish desire to keep her by his side. Adelaide told him to return since it's late, but Lionel asked if she's going to return to Gotrov, making her to be shocked. He told her to remain there instead, but she reminded him that she's no longer the empress. Lionel told her that he will give her everything, take all of Herbert and use everything he possesses. He begged to use him as her faithful sword and trusted shield. Adelaide was confused and asked what is he saying. Lionel told her to marry him. That caused her surprised face. He added to take all of him. He wanted to be hers. Adelaide called his name, but their conversation was cut when Kane Knox arrived. The princess told Lionel that he should leave since the night is late. He is hesitant to leave the room at first, but eventually bid his goodbye and told her to rest well and passed Kane while they feel both competitive with each other. Adelaide told him if he has something to say, he has to say it quickly, while Kane asked again if she will return to Gotrov and reminded her about the day she came to Bamboo Forest to find him. Adelaide said to him that she will take responsibility for him and persuade him to come with her. Kane believed those words and followed her. He can't accept her staying in Egmont, where they dethroned her. He started crying, asking her to go back and be the master of Knox. This made Adelaide hugged and consoled him while saying that on the day she was dethroned, she intended to die. She was reflecting on why she didn't die that day and asked Kane to give her more time. The knight left Adelaide while thinking that the princess changed a lot in just half a year. He suspected that the cause of all these changes is the Marquis Herbert. It's because of him. He approached Lionel and warned him not to reveal his heart because the princess is too noble for someone like him to even dare to harbor feelings for. Lionel answered, returning those remarks to Kane as well. The knight burst in anger, asking if he saw the look on Adelaide's face when she runs through the fields of Gotrov. He told Lionel not to make him laugh, asking how did he expect to satisfy the princess with what little he have. He added that he will definitely return the princess to Gotrov. Adelaide was contemplating the reason why she didn't die, but an Epperson came to her mind at the brink of death. She clung desperately to the ties of the past, but the one who made her forsake death was not them. Duke Desvenal was telling Lennox that the movements of the nobles are unusual. Elizabeth and Duke Valdir are gathering them. But it's fine because the tower is about to descend on the capital soon. A giant tower will descend. On the day the tower descends, the Grand Duchess, Duke Valdir, and Marquis Herbert will be eradicated. He ordered to gather the wizards to deal with them in advance. The Emperor received the news that the Princess of Gotrov is still staying at Marquis Herbert's residence. He stand telling that he must meet the Empress himself. He went to Marquis Herbert's residence while thinking he have to keep Adelaide no matter what. He is the Emperor who have came personally, so she must be shaken. He saw Lionel at the entrance looking coldly at him. The Emperor thinks that he is an insolent man and started asking the butler where is the Empress and lead him to her immediately. Lionel told him to let him escort him to the drawing room first, but the Emperor ordered him to take him to where the Empress is. However, Lionel reminded him that Princess Adelaide is no longer the Empress. The Emperor grabbed Lionel, telling how dare he do this and think that he will be fine, but Lionel reminded him that many eyes are watching and should maintain his dignity. This caused the Emperor to shout angrily to Lionel, but he stopped when he heard Adelaide asking if he came to see her. She asked if he has something to say to her. The Emperor called her Empress and told her that he have come for her. he noticed the Tuan escorting Adelaide thinking that they were wearing Gotrov attire. He told Adelaide that he was wrong and regretted dethroning her like that. He pleaded to come back to his side. Adelaide told him that she accepted her dethronement. The reasons of her dethronement were valid, so he has nothing to regret. The emperor told her not to say that and will do whatever she wanted, but Adelaide reminded him that she's no longer the empress of Egmont. She was thinking that she's sick of this man's endless obsession. Right now, his words and actions are not those of the ruler of an empire, but of a child throwing a tantrum after losing a toy. Adelaide told him that will be their last meeting and do not seek her out again. The emperor called her name, but the two knights blocked his way. He ordered them to step aside, but Cain Knox introduced himself as a servant of Gotrov and he was obligated to protect the princess. The emperor went on the realization that it's really the end, the relationship is truly over. Everything is meaningless. If he can no longer hold on to her, what's the use of being an emperor? Lionel was looking at the emperor thinking that he is no longer fit of being the emperor. Elizabeth went to the emperor palace before carrying out the grand plan. She saw her brother like someone who is out of his mind calling Adelaide's name. She asked why is he like this. The emperor noticed her and told her that he will give the position to her, just bring Adelaide to him. Elizabeth was shocked with what he said and reminded him that he is the one who dethroned the empress with his own hands. The emperor revealed that the empress keeps pushing him away while Elizabeth was wondering that they really served such a man as their emperor until now. She told him to listen to her. The Duke d'Esvenel doesn't care about the empire, but only cares about his own gains and he is only using him. He is trying to build towers all over the empire, but the emperor stopped her and ordered her to bring Adelaide to him and he will do whatever she say. Elizabeth insisted to stop saying such things and listen to her, but the emperor shouted telling her that he doesn't care about any of that, he just needs her to bring Adelaide to him. Elizabeth asked what does Egmont mean to him, thinking that she followed the shadows of that boy's eyes, but his soul is already too damaged to be restored. She feels regretful and sorry for him, but she cannot just stand by and watch anymore. Adelaide showed the documents she organized that will help with what he's planning. She asked when did he plan to start the revolution. Lionel answered that tomorrow's Central Council meeting will be the turning point. They prepared a villa and she will move there today with those who came from Gotrov. Adelaide revealed that she will not go there because she will go to Gotrov today. This made Lionel shocked knowing that she will be returning to her homeland. She told him that she's a very selfish person and couldn't give up anything. She told him that after following proper procedures in Gotrov, she will come back and have him. Lionel was surprised to hear those words, asking himself if he really heard that right. Adelaide just realized what she said and told him that she misspoke, but her face started blushing. Lionel told her to call his name while holding her face. She called his name, Lionel, and made him started to cry. He grabbed her neck and started kissing her. The person he thought he could never reach is now in his arms. Adelaide started to cry. That made him shocked and apologized for what he did, but the princess told him not to die and he must stay safe until she returned from Gotrov. Lionel hugged her while telling that he loved her many times. Adelaide can hear his heart pounding. Lionel told her that even if she can't come back from Gotrov is fine, because he will come to find her. No matter where or what to do, as long as she's there, just allow him to stay by her side. Adelaide explained the reason for going is to be by his side, while Lionel told to himself to survive, so he can stand by this person. Adelaide notified her knights that they were leaving for Gotrov. The two were glad after hearing what she said and immediately prepared. Cain wanted to know what's the princess' feelings and asked to marry him after returning to Gotrov. She doesn't need to fulfill marital obligations, she can just take the Knox name and live comfortably in Gotrov. He will protect her with all his strength. Adelaide answered a strong no and asked him to get up and don't cry again, but Cain asked why can't it be him. Adelaide can't wipe his tears. Sometimes clumsy comfort can be crueler than a blade. She revealed that she always see him as a brother to her. That's why she can't marry him. She told him to go back and prepare himself while Kane asked if she already found the reason why she didn't die. Adelaide answered yes and told him that it's Adelaide Gotrov, to live a life worthy of that name, without regrets. The Grand Duchess visited Adelaide and thanked her for awakening her. As a princess of Egmont, she had done nothing. Adelaide told her that she is the one who opened her own eyes and hope that they will succeed for their grand plan. Elizabeth answered that will succeed for sure. The emperor was shouting that Adelaide is the empress of the empire while asking where do they think they're going. Other nobles told him after deposing her with his own hands. Duke d'Espinal ordered the servants to take the emperor inside immediately, but the emperor insists on returning the empress to him right now. She's leaving, and if he don't hurry, she will be gone forever. Many people saw the state of the emperor while Duke d'Espinal thought that he is a pathetic fool. Diana witnessed what happened to the emperor and wanted to return all the pain she have suffered to those who treated her life like garbage. Lady Kix is helping Adelaide to prepare for her journey back to Gotrov while she hoped that the tower doesn't descend until the revolution succeeds. While on her way, she saw a remarkable sight. A large crowd had gathered along the road leading out the capital. They had come to bid farewell to Adelaide, who was leaving Egmont. She saw Alexa Burnhill. It was fortunate to have her, because without her, it would have taken longer to uncover Duke d'Espinal's conspiracy. She hoped that she succeeds and survives. Duke Valdir was also there telling her to have a safe journey and thanked her for everything. And lastly, she saw Lionel, standing on one side of the vast plain. Though no words are exchanged, she understands his heart. Her steps are reluctant, but it's time to go. At the Grand Duchess residence, Elizabeth was telling the nobles that they need to succeed tomorrow when suddenly, Alexa felt that a tower will be descending. She told Elizabeth that she can feel the magic and announced that a tower is about to descend. Duke d'Espinal was very happy, claiming that the heavens are helping him. As soon as Princess Adelaide is out of the picture, the tower begins to descend. He ordered Lennox to prepare the mages immediately, while Lennox is also glad, asking if they will take care of everything today. When the tower descends, have the mages wait while the beasts tear Lionel Herbert apart, then kill Theseus Valdir. Adelaide was surprised that she can feel magic and asked Kane if he also felt it, but her knight was worried about her. The day before their plan, a tower descends today. Adelaide was thinking she must go, but Kane told her she can't go because she must go to Gotrov. She shouldn't involved in another country's conflict anymore. But Adelaide was worried that everyone will be in danger when the tower descends. She doesn't want to hesitate and gave her insignia to Kane. She declared that she renounced all her titles and privileges as the Princess of Gotrov from this moment on, so convey her will to the Emperor. Kane thought that she's really cruel, while the other knights say that if she made this choice, it means she truly wished it. He told her that he will carry out her command without fail, while Adelaide thanked them and hurriedly went back. The Emperor and Duke d'Espinal were standing while looking at the sky, thinking that a tower will descend soon. Duke d'Espinal say that it's close to the palace, while telling the Emperor that the Grand Duchess is gathering forces and will soon attempt a coup. The tower is descending for his sakes, and today they will sweep away Valdir, Herbert and the Grand Duchess. The Emperor looked at the Duke, telling him that he wanted to witness Lionel's death, while the Duke revealed that he will be the first to die. One noble announced to the Grand Duchess that summon orders have been issued to all mages and knights. Alexa was worried that with the tower present, there's no one who can defeat Lennox Poitiers. Elizabeth was thinking that there's no chance in this state, while Duke Valdir calmed her down, telling that another opportunity will come. Elizabeth told him that the Emperor has ordered all heads of houses to gather. Surely it's to kill Lionel Herbert in front of everyone. A group of knights assembled, including Lionel. He felt a tremendous magic power and intense malice and jealousy. The emperor ordered the guards to create the first defense line against the tower and started smiling, thinking to kill Marquis Herbert. Lionel thought that the emperor was determined to use the knights as shields. Today, the goal is to survive this while watching at them dying. He remembered Adelaide's face telling him to survive and ordered the knights to move forward and destroy the tower. The emperor and the duke were only watching them when a noble asked when do they plan to send out the mages. The duke told him not to worry because they will rush out at the right time, but Elizabeth told the emperor that it's impossible for knights alone to block such large tower, and pleaded him to deploy the mages. The emperor asked the reason for saying that is because all her factions to be dealt with are there. The tower is descending while Lionel thought that it won't be easy since it's very large. Alexa was worried that they must destroy the tower as quickly as possible, but it's impossible to face Lennox in the situation where the tower is descending. She asked herself if they turn a blind eye and wait for the right moment as they did with Empress Adelaide. Lionel commanded the knights to draw their swords and hold their positions. They must stop the monsters pouring out. He was surprised after feeling a warm current from somewhere blocking the tower. He looked at the back and saw Adelaide and her comrades. Aside from Lionel's shocked, the emperor was also surprised to see Adelaide's face coming back and rushing to the tower. He asked why is she coming back after saying she will return to Gotrov, and asked if it's because of that bastard. Did she came back to save Lionel Herbert? He clenched his fist, telling himself that Lionel will die here today by any means necessary, and only then will that insolent woman Adelaide shed tears of blood and realize. Adelaide looked above, telling herself that it is an overwhelmingly large tower, and as expected, they tried to block it with only knights, without mages. It's fortunate that they weren't too late. She pulled her sword and stabbed it on the ground, claiming that this tower cannot be destroyed by him alone. Help is absolutely necessary. She looked above and ordered the mages to come down immediately, asking how long are they going to just stand there watching. Alexa and the other mages were hesitant at first, while Duke Desvenal ordered them to hold their positions and no one moves. The Duke and Lennox were surprised to saw Alexa moving down the castle. This move by Alexa made the other mages to follow, he telling that they won't just stand by and watch anymore. Lennox shouted, asking what are they doing? Moving without the Emperor's order is treason. At that moment, the same question arose in the minds of everyone present. How could their actions against the tower be considered treason? Adelaide ordered them that half of the keepers should prevent the tower from landing on the ground and other half should catch the falling strikers. She told them to watch and follow what she will do, ride the ascending current and destroy the core of the tower. The core of the upper tower is so tough it won't break with a single hit. Strikers should repeat the attack to destroy the core. The mages were hesitant, how can they do that? But Alexa ordered the keepers to hurry and catch the strikers. They followed Alexa at Catch Adelaide while the other mages was determined to give it a try and started attacking the tower with all their might. Adelaide saw that the core is starting to crack and started her final strike to break the core. Eventually the tower broke and destroyed. Duke Desvenal and Lennox were worried that the tower was destroyed, while the mages who followed Alexa, together with the knights, were all happy with their teamwork. Lionel catch Adelaide as she fall graciously from above.